is a key race alert. Take a look at them. Remember, these numbers are estimates based on our survey of people going in for the entrance polls. 27% for Donald Trump, 22% for Ted Cruz, 21% for Marco Rubio, Ben Carson, 9%. Remember, this is an early estimate. These are estimates based on a survey of voters as they were coming into various caucus sites. Right now, this early snapshot, Hillary Clinton at 50%, Bernie Sanders 44%, Martin O'Malley, the former Maryland governor, 3%. Remember, this is an early snapshot. These are estimates based on our survey of voters as they were going into these Democratic caucus sites. On the Republican side, more of the caucus sites have reported 75%. Ted Cruz still maintaining his lead, 28% to 25% for Donald Trump. 22% strong third for Marco Rubio so far. A quarter of the votes still outstanding, but Ted Cruz is winning by 3,602 votes. And CNN projects Ted Cruz, the Republican senator from Texas, will win the Iowa caucuses. Based on the numbers that have come in right now, based on the outstanding numbers, we project Ted Cruz will win the Iowa Republican caucuses tonight. A major win for Ted Cruz. He has done remarkably well beating Donald Trump. All right, take a look at this. Look at how close it is in the Iowa Democratic caucuses. Right now, 99% of the caucus sites, they have officially reported to Democratic state headquarters. Hillary Clinton with 49.8%, Bernie Sanders 49.6%, 0.2% difference in terms of state delegates. We have breaking news right now. A CNN key race alert. CNN can now report that Hillary Clinton has won. Hillary Clinton has won the Democratic caucuses in Iowa narrowly, very narrowly, defeating Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders comes in second place. Hillary Clinton with 49.8%, Bernie Sanders 49.6%. Martin O'Malley, who has now suspended his campaign, he is no longer in this race.
Top of the hour, let's go to Wolf. Wolf?
All right, guys, thanks very much. We're getting ready right at the top of the hour. All the polls in New Hampshire will close. We will be ready to make projections in this race for the presidency of the United States. Let's go to the breaking news. CNN makes two projections in New Hampshire. CNN projects that Donald Trump will be the winner of the New Hampshire Republican primary. We also project that Bernie Sanders will be the winner of the Democratic primary in New Hampshire. There you see the winner, Donald Trump, the Republican primary winner. Bernie Sanders, we project, will be the Democratic winner. We make that projection on the basis of the exit poll information we have received. Once again, CNN's projections that Bernie Sanders wins on the Democratic side, and on the Republican side, Donald Trump is the winner. But look at this. There's a major battle for second place among the Republicans in New Hampshire right now between Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz, John Kasich, and Marco Rubio. Right now, we have another projection. All right, CNN projects John Kasich, the Ohio governor, is coming in second place in the Republican primary in New Hampshire behind Donald Trump. This alert, 81% of the vote is now in on the Republican side. Donald Trump with an impressive win, 35%. John Kasich, the Ohio governor, second place with 16%. There's a real fight underway for third place right now. Still plenty of votes out there. All of them have 11%. Ted Cruz, Jeb Bush, and Marco Rubio. Very, very close race for third place. Not so much for Chris Christie. He's only at 8%. Carly Fiorina and Ben Carson, they are way down on the Republican side. We'll watch very closely this race for third place in the Republican primary in New Hampshire. On the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders crushing Hillary Clinton 60% to 38%, 44,000 votes ahead of Hillary Clinton. A very, very impressive win, a very impressive win for Bernie Sanders. We have a key race alert coming in right now. These are the first real numbers coming in, not entrance poll numbers. Take a look at how close it is right now. 7% of the precinct, 7% of the vote is now in. 50% for Hillary Clinton, 49.6% from Bernie Sanders. It's only 7%, but it's amazingly close right now, a lot closer than some people had suggested. CNN projects Hillary Clinton is the winner of the Nevada Democratic caucuses, beating Bernie Sanders. She expected a win. She is going to win. She wins the Nevada Democratic caucuses, not necessarily by a huge margin, but certainly Plenty of votes, enough to make her the winner. And this is the CNN key race alert. The early leaders based on the exit polls that we have: Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio. They are the early leaders right now in South Carolina in this Republican presidential primary. The second-tier candidates based on the exit poll estimates that we have: Jeb Bush, Ben Carson, John Kasich. Thanks. Good conversation. This is the key race alert. Take a look at this. Very early, but Donald Trump maintaining a steady lead, 34.9%. Marco Rubio in second place right now, 22.6%. Ted Cruz with 18%. Jeb Bush, 12%. John Kasich, 7.7%. Dr. Ben Carson, 4.8%. Less than 3,000 votes have been cast right now, but Trump maintaining his lead, 356 votes right now ahead of Marco Rubio. CNN projects Donald Trump, the billionaire real estate magnate, will win the South Carolina Republican primary. This is a huge win for him, coming off of New Hampshire, where he won impressively. He is the winner, according to our projection, based on actual numbers coming in, based on what's going on in the estimate of the exit polls. They're obviously thrilled over at Trump headquarters.
CNN is ready to make a projection. CNN is projecting that Donald Trump will be the winner of the Nevada Republican caucuses. This is based on exit polls and results in sample precincts across the state. We do not know the order yet. We do not yet have enough information to say where the others will be, but we do know that Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz will be in the top three. All right, with 3% of the actual vote in, Donald Trump leading with 42% of the vote, Ted Cruz with 22.8%, Marco Rubio right behind him at 21.8%. Pulling up the rear in single digits, Ben Carson at 9.8%, and John Kasich, who barely competed in Nevada, at 3.3%. These are actual votes coming in. 30 delegates are at stake in Nevada, and there you see Donald Trump, when the actual numbers are coming in, taking a momentous lead.
And CNN makes this major projection. Hillary Clinton is the winner of the South Carolina Democratic presidential primary. Based on the exit poll information we get, we have projected that the former Secretary of State, the former U.S. Senator, the former First Lady of the United States will win the South Carolina Democratic primary. A very important win for Hillary Clinton going into Super Tuesday. We have a key race alert. The first numbers coming in from the election results. Let's show them to our viewers right now. This is the first real numbers coming in. Now, only 1% of the numbers are in, but you can see how decisive, at least right now, very, very early, the Hillary Clinton win is in South Carolina. But only a few hundred votes are in, but 87.5% for Hillary Clinton, only 12.5% for Bernie Sanders. Once again, very early. And look at this. CNN can now project that Hillary Clinton is the winner in Georgia, is the winner in Virginia as well. Hillary Clinton is the winner. Bernie Sanders, we project, wins his home state of Vermont. Hillary Clinton wins two states, Georgia and Virginia. Bernie Sanders wins Vermont. Let's go to the key race alert right now. Hillary Clinton, as we reported, Hillary Clinton wins Georgia and Virginia. Just want to be precise based on our projection, based on the exit poll information, the other information we're getting. Bernie Sanders wins his home state of Vermont. We have a key race alert now. Exit poll results that we're getting in. The exit poll results in Virginia. First of all, in Georgia, take a look at this. Based on early estimates, Georgia, Donald Trump 40%, Ted Cruz 24%, Marco Rubio 23%. In Virginia, Donald Trump 34%, Marco Rubio 31%, Ted Cruz, he's down at 16%. These are exit poll results based on early information we're getting in from the exit polls. We have early leaders as well in Vermont. The early leaders in Vermont, look at this. On the Republican side, Donald Trump and John Kasich, they are both early leaders in Vermont. CNN projects Donald Trump will win Georgia, the Republican presidential primary in Georgia. Donald Trump is the winner in Georgia. He won South Carolina. Now he wins Georgia. A big win for Donald Trump tonight. Anderson, this is what Donald Trump wanted. He got Georgia. 4 states getting ready to close right now at the top of the hour. We're talking about Alabama, Massachusetts, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. Lots of delegates at stake tonight. This is the second round of closings. We're going to share the numbers with you right now and some major projections. First of all, CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the Alabama Republican presidential primary, another state going to Donald Trump. CNN also projects that Donald Trump will carry Massachusetts, the Republican presidential primary in Massachusetts, another win for Donald Trump. A third win right now at this hour. Donald Trump, CNN projects, will also carry Tennessee. 3 wins right now for Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton, we project Hillary Clinton will be the winner in both Alabama and Tennessee. 2 important wins for Hillary Clinton right now. You see Alabama, 53 delegates at stake. In Tennessee, another 67 delegates. Hillary Clinton is the winner in both of those states. 2 more wins for Hillary Clinton. We have a key race alert we want to share with you right now as well. Let's go first to Oklahoma on the Republican side. A close contest over there based on our exit polls. Ted Cruz at 32%. Donald Trump and Marco Rubio at 27%. Those are exit poll estimates. In Massachusetts on the Democratic side, estimates 52% for Bernie Sanders, 46% for Hillary Clinton. Close contest there. In Oklahoma on the Democratic side as well, similarly, Bernie Sanders 51%, 46% for Hillary Clinton. Those are estimates based on the exit polls. Remember, these exit polls are based on our early survey of voters as they left their polling locations. So let's take a look at the wins so far tonight. For Donald Trump, he has won 4 states: Georgia, Alabama, Massachusetts, and Tennessee. Similarly, Hillary Clinton, she has won 4 states: Georgia, Virginia, Alabama, and Tennessee. Bernie Sanders, we have projected, wins his home state of Vermont. You see that right there. In Vermont, first of all, only 2% of the vote is in on the Republican side. Trump is ahead, 36.4%, 25% for John Kasich, the Ohio governor, 19% for Marco Rubio, 16 delegates at stake in Vermont. In Virginia, on the Republican side, Donald Trump is ahead with 36.8%. 30.5% for Marco Rubio, only 16.9% for Ted Cruz, 49 delegates at stake in Virginia. Oklahoma right now, there's a close battle underway with 2% of the vote in very, very early, but Donald Trump is ahead 36.2%, Ted Cruz 29.6%, Marco Rubio 21.9%, 43 delegates at stake in Oklahoma. Let's move to Texas right now. That's the big prize. Votes are coming in right now in Texas. The polls actually close in Texas at the top of the hour, 9 p.m. Eastern, but they're already releasing officially these numbers right now. 1% of the vote is in. Ted Cruz at 41.9%, Donald Trump 30.5%, Marco Rubio in third place with 14%. That's in Texas. That's the big prize of the night, 155 delegates.
And we can report the following projection from the election desk at NBC News and MSNBC. On the Democratic side, you see there Hillary Clinton is being awarded the state of Arkansas. When all the votes are counted, we're projecting she will be the winner.
Take a look at this. On the Republican side, these are estimates based on our exit poll information. Donald Trump slightly ahead, 34%. Ted Cruz, 30%. Marco Rubio, 25%. These are close numbers. This is an exit poll based on the CNN estimates. Remember, these are estimates based on our early survey of voters as they left their polling locations. The final outcome may be different. We can expect those numbers to change throughout the night. For Ted Cruz, but we have projected now Virginia. Virginia goes to Donald Trump. Let's take a look at the states that have been won right now by both of these candidates, all 3 of them, in fact. Trump wins Georgia, Alabama, Massachusetts, Tennessee, and now Virginia, 5 states. Hillary Clinton wins Georgia, Virginia, Alabama, Tennessee, and Arkansas, 5 states. Bernie Sanders, he wins his home state of Vermont. So 5 states for Donald Trump, 5 states for Hillary Clinton, 1 state for Bernie Sanders so far. Democratic presidential primary, Ted Cruz, the sitting senator from Texas, he will win the Republican primary in Texas. His first win of the night. Hillary Clinton wins in Texas. Ted Cruz wins in Texas. Let's take a look at some of the votes actually coming in from Texas right now. On the Democratic side, 9 has been counted. She's got a sizable lead. Hillary Clinton with 66.6%. Bernie Sanders only 31.5%. We have projected Hillary Clinton wins Texas. On the Republican side, a bit closer, but Ted Cruz is the winner. A third of the Republican vote is now in. Ted Cruz with 39.2%. Donald Trump with 28.2%. 19% for Marco Rubio. We've got some more votes coming in right now. First, on the Republican side, let's take a look at this. In Oklahoma right now, Ted Cruz slightly ahead of Donald Trump and Marco Rubio. 33.8% for Cruz, 30% for Donald Trump, 23.7% for Marco Rubio. Very close, a third of the vote, 37% of the vote is in Oklahoma. In Arkansas, only 12% of the vote is in, but Donald Trump has a slight lead right now. Donald Trump with 32.5%, Marco Rubio 29.5%, Ted Cruz slightly behind, 25.2%. That's in Arkansas right now. Take a look at Vermont right now, the Republican contest there. Donald Trump maintaining his lead, but only a quarter of the vote is in, 33.2% for Trump. John Kasich with 30.5%, Marco Rubio 19%.
Speaking of Oklahoma, we have a second call on the Democratic side. Bernie Sanders has extended his reach tonight. The winner of the Democratic Oklahoma primary, 52% to 41% with about half of the vote in.
We've got a major projection, a big one right now. Take a look at this. We'll watch together with all of our viewers. CNN projects Ted Cruz, the Texas senator, will win the Oklahoma Republican presidential primary. It's a second win after Texas. That is an important win for Ted Cruz tonight, not just one state, Texas, but also neighboring Oklahoma as well. Ted Cruz wins. Take a look at the actual vote that has come in so far. 65% of the vote is in, relatively close, but Cruz is the winner, 34.7%, 29.5% for Trump, 24% for Marco Rubio. A very big win for Ted Cruz in Oklahoma so far. Let's take a look at the states that have already been projected by CNN so far on the Republican side. Georgia, Alabama, Massachusetts, Tennessee, Virginia, 5 states we've projected will go to Donald Trump. On the Republican side, Texas and Oklahoma, we have projected will go for Ted Cruz. 2 states for Ted Cruz so far, 5 states for Donald Trump. Remember, Ted Cruz also won Iowa, so that's 3 states that he has won so far. Look at this, 74% of the vote is in. Trump is slightly ahead of John Kasich, well ahead of Marco Rubio's in third place, 32.2% for Trump, 30.7% for John Kasich. Only a difference of 705 votes. That's in Vermont right now. We're watching that closely. In Arkansas, it's also a contest. 79% of the vote is in. Trump is ahead in Arkansas, 33.8% to Ted Cruz, 29.4%. Marco Rubio in third place by 24.7%. But Trump does have a lead of 12,332. That potentially could be significant in Arkansas. In Massachusetts, on the Democratic side right now, 87% of the vote is in. Hillary Clinton is slightly ahead of Bernie Sanders, 50.6% to 48.2%. But that's a lead right now of 23,460 votes for Hillary Clinton. Once again, 87%. 87% of the vote is in. There are some caucus states we want to update you on right now as well. The Democratic caucuses in Colorado, only 16% of the vote is in. But look at this, Bernie Sanders is ahead of Hillary Clinton, 57.3% to 41.4%. In Minnesota, similarly, very early, only 6% of the vote has been counted, but Bernie Sanders is ahead of Hillary Clinton, 59.3% to 40.6%. In the Republican caucuses in Minnesota, bigger numbers have been counted already. 79% have been counted. And Marco Rubio has a significant lead, 37.3%. Ted Cruz, 28%. Donald Trump, 21%.
We interrupt the Cruz event with news that won't go over big at Cruz headquarters, and that is that Donald Trump has now been projected by this news organization as the victor in Arkansas. At 11:20 Eastern Time, we are back with a call. The Minnesota GOP caucus goes to Marco Rubio, but Rubio nonetheless the GOP caucus in Minnesota.
Fox News can now project that Bernie Sanders will defeat Hillary Clinton in Colorado's Democratic presidential primary. So that means that Bernie Sanders tonight wins Vermont, wins Oklahoma, and now wins Colorado. So Bernie Sanders with at least 3 wins tonight so far.
This is a first for the campaign cowboys, but apparently Fox News can now project that Bernie Sanders is going to win the caucuses in Minnesota.
And we are also ready to make a call in Massachusetts. Fox News projects that Hillary Clinton will beat Bernie Sanders in that state's Democratic presidential primary.
Vermont. Let's change our call. Because more data has come in. We have gone from apparent winner to projected winner, meaning it's more than just the math. It's math plus models plus human intelligence. 33% to 30%, 19 and change to almost 18,000 with 92% of the raw vote in. Another state on the projected pile for Donald Trump.
We do have a key race alert. Let's take a look at the last contest. Still outstanding. Alaska right now, 6% of the vote is in. Donald Trump is ahead, 34.2%. Ted Cruz in second place, 29.9%. Marco Rubio in third place, 18.4%. Very early. Remember, Alaska, 28 delegates at stake.
Just moments ago, we called the race in Alaska. The Republican caucus is there. Now, with nearly all the votes counted, CNN has projected that Ted Cruz, he is the winner of the Republican caucuses in Alaska. You can see right there, 97% of the precincts reporting Ted Cruz with a 577 vote lead. A 577 vote lead.
It was billed as the biggest night of the election so far, and it's delivered in a big way. For the Republicans, Donald Trump might be too big to fail. He padded his delegate lead with wins in state after state. Let's show you those states right now. Donald Trump, he has won 7 states: Georgia, Alabama, Massachusetts, Tennessee, Virginia, Arkansas, and Vermont. Ted Cruz has won Texas and Oklahoma. Marco Rubio, he has won in Minnesota. The caucus is there. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton has won 7 states as well: Georgia, Virginia, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, Texas, and Massachusetts. Bernie Sanders, he's won 4 states: Vermont, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Minnesota. Key race alert. I want to update our viewers right now on what's going on in Kansas. Take a look at these numbers coming in. In the Republican caucuses in Kansas, 3% of the vote is now in. Ted Cruz holding up a lead. He's got 52.6%. Donald Trump in second place, 21.1%. Marco Rubio with 14.5%. 10.1% for John Kasich. CNN is now ready for its first projection of the day. CNN can project that Ted Cruz is the winner of the Kansas Republican presidential caucuses. Ted Cruz picks up another win. This is his 5th win so far. Ted Cruz wins Kansas. He's been doing really well in all the numbers that have been coming in. Let's share those numbers with you. Here's the vote where it stands right now. With 43% of the vote is in, Ted Cruz is ahead 49% to Donald Trump, 24.7%. Marco Rubio with 14.8%. John Kasich only 9.9%. We got a key race alert. The first numbers we're actually getting in from the Republican caucuses in Kentucky. Only 1% in so far, if that. Ted Cruz slightly, very, very slightly ahead. It's a real battle underway right now with Donald Trump. Ted Cruz, he's at 32%. Donald Trump's at 31.5%. But look at this. Only 4 votes separate the two of them right now. As I said, these are the initial numbers in the state of Kentucky. So we're getting more votes in from the Republican caucuses in Maine right now. And Cruz still maintains his lead, although it's narrowed a little bit. 43% for Cruz. Donald Trump, he's at 36.6%. Kasich is down 11.1%. Rubio is at 7.8%. According to the Democratic Party, an official statement coming in, Bernie Sanders has won the Kansas Democratic presidential caucuses. Bernie Sanders is the winner in Kansas. They say 90% of the vote has been counted. 40,000 people participated. Bernie Sanders picks up another win tonight. He wins Kansas in the Democratic caucuses.
Coming in first in the Maine caucuses is Senator Ted Cruz with 45.84% of the vote. Second is Donald Trump with 32.55% of the vote. Coming in third is Governor John Kasich with 12.17% of the vote. And fourth, with 8.00% of the vote, is Senator Marco Rubio.
Well, we're ready to make a projection right now based on the information just provided by the Democratic chairman in Nebraska. Watch this. And CNN is projecting right now that Bernie Sanders will win the state of Nebraska, the Democratic presidential caucuses in Nebraska. This is his second win of the night. Earlier, we projected he's the winner in Kansas, the Democratic presidential caucuses in Kansas. Right there, Bernie Sanders picks up win number 2 tonight. You see Bernie Sanders with 54.8%, Hillary Clinton 45.2%. CNN projects that Hillary Clinton will win the Louisiana Democratic presidential primary. The polls just closed there, but based on all the information we're getting, CNN projects Hillary Clinton is the winner. This is her first win of the night. She wins in Louisiana. Hillary Clinton with 71.1%. Bernie Sanders with 21.4%. Hillary Clinton is the winner in the only primary of the night, Louisiana.
Winner take all states.
CNN projects Donald Trump wins the Louisiana Republican primary. That's his first win of the night. Ted Cruz has won in Kansas. He's won in Maine. We now project Donald Trump is the winner in Louisiana. That's an important win. The only primary contest of the night. CNN projects Donald Trump will win Kentucky, the Republican caucuses in Kentucky. Donald Trump will win in Kentucky. Donald Trump wanted this win. And let's take a look at the votes in Kentucky right now. There you see it right now. 84% of the vote is in. Donald Trump with 35.1%. Ted Cruz 31.4%. A close race, but Donald Trump, CNN projects, is the winner.
CNN now projecting Marco Rubio is the winner in Puerto Rico today. Taking in 73.6% of the vote, with 25% of the precincts reporting there. Again, Marco Rubio with a wide lead. CNN projecting he will be the winner in Puerto Rico. 23 delegates up for grabs there.
And during tonight's debate, we actually found out Sanders won today's caucuses in Maine, and there was a big turnout for Democrats in Maine, more than we saw for Republicans, significantly more. And as you can see, for the overall numbers here in Maine, a big win for Bernie Sanders, 64% to about 36%, with rounding for Hillary Clinton.
And CNN projects that Hillary Clinton will win the Mississippi Democratic presidential primary. Another win for Hillary Clinton in Mississippi tonight. Hillary Clinton is the winner in Mississippi. We also have a key race alert on the Republican side right now. On the Republican side, take a look at this. These are estimates based on our exit polls. As of right now, Donald Trump is with 49% based on the exit poll, 36% for Ted Cruz. Marco Rubio and John Kasich, they're distantly back at only 7% each. CNN projects Donald Trump will win the Mississippi Republican presidential primary. An important win for Donald Trump tonight. He's won 12 so far coming into tonight. This is his 13th win so far. Donald Trump, we project, is the winner of the Mississippi Republican presidential primary. All eyes are on Michigan right now. Donald Trump, CNN projects, is the winner in the Michigan Republican presidential primary. His second win of the night. A key race alert right now in the state of Michigan. 52% of the vote is now in. Look at how close it is. Bernie Sanders, he was not ahead in the polls going into Michigan, but he is ahead right now. 51.7%. 46.5%. Actually, it's a pretty significant lead right now. That's a lead of 27,415. 271,051 for Bernie Sanders. 243,636 for Hillary Clinton. That's a pretty significant lead with more than half of the vote now in. This is the first time we have some votes coming in from Idaho, where there's a Republican primary. 3% of the vote is in. Ted Cruz has a lead right now at 38.5%. Marco Rubio is in second place with 28.4%. Donald Trump in third place, 22.3%. John Kasich is in fourth place with 7%. But this is very, very early. Cruz has a lead of 447 votes over Marco Rubio right now. Bernie Sanders is the winner in the Michigan Democratic primary. This is an upset. None of the polls going in thought he was going to win. The two campaigns thought Hillary Clinton was going to win. Bernie Sanders, though, emerges as the winner in the Michigan Democratic primary, beating Hillary Clinton. Let's take a look at the vote where it stands right now. Bernie Sanders with 50% of the vote. He's 21,539 votes ahead of Hillary Clinton with 96% of the vote in. Bernie Sanders has clearly upset Hillary Clinton in Michigan. And there it is. CNN projects Ted Cruz, the winner of the Idaho Republican primary. This is his first win of the night. Donald Trump had two other wins in Mississippi and Michigan, but Ted Cruz is now the winner of the Idaho Republican primary. And there you can see the vote right now as it stands. 42.9% for Ted Cruz, 28.2% for Donald Trump, 18% for Marco Rubio, 7.2% for John Kasich. 56% of the vote is in. A big win in Idaho. Impressive win for Ted Cruz right now.
We interrupt our election programming right now with some breaking news. NBC News projecting Donald Trump will win the Hawaii Republican Caucus. Donald Trump, you see there, 45% in, 45% lead there with 48% in. There are 19 delegates there. Ted Cruz trailing at 31% with 48% in, and Marco Rubio well behind that with just a third or so of what Cruz has at 12%. John Kasich rounding it out at 10%.
Evening. It comes from the district. The Associated Press says Marco Rubio has won the Republican primary in the city. 19 delegates are at stake. This is Rubio's third win in the presidential race. He also won Minnesota and Puerto Rico.
But we begin our second hour today with the results from Super Tuesday 2, the first ones. Donald Trump notches his first win of the day in the Mariana Islands. Welcome to Happening Now. I'm John Scott.
And I'm Heather Childers in for Jenna Lee. Great to be here with you guys.
Good to have you here, Heather.
Exciting day. The candidate, Trump, won all of the territory's 9 delegates. And now we wait for the results from 5 states with contests today: Florida, Illinois, Missouri, North Carolina, and Ohio. Now, take a look at this. Polls are still open in Florida, at least in the Panhandle, for another half an hour or so. Donald Trump with a significant lead, 45.5% over Marco Rubio, 26.8%. It just changed. 44% of the vote is in. Donald Trump has a lead of almost 200,000 votes, 46.1% over Rubio's 26.7%. 15.8% for Cruz, 6.7% for John Kasich. On the Democratic side, a very impressive lead right now for Hillary Clinton, 289,000 vote lead, in fact, over Bernie Sanders, 66.9%, 30.9% for Bernie Sanders. Remember, these are numbers that are being released in the state of Florida. Counting down to the bottom of the hour right now, that's when the polls close in Ohio. Winner take all for the Republicans. Also, the polls close in North Carolina. We're about to release a CNN exit poll information. We cannot make a key race alert, though, in Ohio right now. These are the exit polls we have. No projections we can make on the Republican side. Take a look at this. Our estimate, based on the exit poll information: the governor, John Kasich, 45%. Donald Trump, 38%. Ted Cruz, 14%. It's tight in Ohio on the Republican side. Once again, no projection, even though the polls are closed in Ohio. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton, based on the exit poll information, she's at 53%. Bernie Sanders, 46%. We cannot make a projection. Let's take a look at North Carolina right now. In North Carolina, look at how tight it is based on the CNN exit poll estimates. Donald Trump, 39%. Ted Cruz, 35%. John Kasich, 13%. Very tight in North Carolina based on the exit polls. On the Democratic side, 54% for Hillary Clinton, 42% for Bernie Sanders. Remember, these are exit polls. The polls are closed in North Carolina and Ohio. We cannot make projections. Remember, these exit polls are estimates based on our early survey. All right, let's get to the key race alert right now. Take a look at this. We've got some Democratic numbers coming in from North Carolina. First of all, 4% of the vote is in. Hillary Clinton has a significant lead, 64% to 34.3% for Bernie Sanders. Her lead is about 13,532 right now. 4% of the vote is in. On the Republican side in North Carolina, 1%, if that. Only a handful of votes are in, but Donald Trump has a lead of 40.1% over Ted Cruz, 32%. John Kasich, 14.4%. Marco Rubio, 10.9%. Very, very early, less than 1% of the vote is in, but Trump has a lead in North Carolina. John, thanks very much. We have a key race alert right now, a race we're going to be watching for a while. It looks like in Ohio, 1% of the vote is now in, barely 1%. Very, very early. Donald Trump has a lead, 47.3% over the governor, John Kasich, 33.9%. Cruz is at 9.9%, Rubio at 6.2%. Once again, very, very early. You see only a couple thousand or 3,000 votes are in. Trump has a lead, though, with less than 1% of the vote in. On the Democratic side, 1% also very, very early. Hillary Clinton has a significant lead, 71.4% over Bernie Sanders, 27.3%. But once again, only a tiny, tiny number of numbers have actually come in from Ohio right now. Stand by. We've got some major projections to deliver at the top of the hour, which is right now. A huge win we project for Donald Trump in Florida. Donald Trump will win all 99 delegates. Winner take all in Florida. CNN projects Donald Trump is the big winner in Florida tonight. Huge win for Donald Trump. Also in Florida, another projection. Hillary Clinton, we project, also will win. Florida, a big win for Hillary Clinton in Florida. This is an important moment for Hillary Clinton, important moment for Donald Trump. They both win. Florida, let's get a key race alert right now. We've got key race alerts. We've got a race underway in Missouri, though. Right now, we cannot make projections, but based on the CNN exit poll estimates we have, look at this in Missouri on the Republican side. Ted Cruz is slightly ahead of Donald Trump, 43%. 40% for Donald Trump, 10% for John Kasich in third place. Look at that. Very, very close in Missouri. We have not been able to make a projection. On the Democratic side, look at this. Also, could be a surprise. 51%. 51% for Bernie Sanders, according to our exit poll estimate. 49%. 48% for Hillary Clinton in Missouri. Close race, very, very close in Missouri. Very close on the Republican side and the Democratic side. Let's take a look at Illinois right now. The polls are closed in Illinois. Look at how close it is in Illinois right now. 38% our estimate for Donald Trump based on the exit poll information. 34% for Ted Cruz. Only 19% for John Kasich. In Illinois, on the Democratic side, our estimate, 51% for Bernie Sanders, 49% for Hillary Clinton. Very, very close. We've got a race on our hands in Illinois on the Republican and the Democratic side.
Let's go back to Wolf.
He's fighting it.
Thanks very much, Anderson. We're getting ready for the second major projection on the Democratic side right now.
Yeah, where is that?
CNN projects Hillary Clinton is the winner in North Carolina. Based on all the information, the actual votes that have come in, the exit poll information, Hillary Clinton wins. Hillary Clinton wins North Carolina. Let's now 12% of the vote is in. The governor, John Kasich, he's ahead of Donald Trump. 44.3% to 32.3% for Donald Trump. Ted Cruz a distant third. Kasich right now with 12% of the vote in. He's ahead by 24,000, almost 25,000 votes. Winner take all in Ohio. 66 delegates at stake. Kasich ahead. In Missouri, very, very early, only less than 1,000 votes are in right now. You can see Donald Trump has 48.6%, 32.3% for Ted Cruz. Marco Rubio, who's just dropped out of the contest, 8.5% in Missouri. Let's take a look at Illinois. Also very early, only a few thousand votes are in. Donald Trump has a lead, 44.2%, 22.4% for Cruz. Kasich, 20.9%. Less than 1% of the vote is in Illinois right now, very early in that contest. In North Carolina, 24, a quarter of the vote is now in. That's a significant number. Trump is ahead in North Carolina. 40.3%, 34.5% for Cruz, 12.6% for Kasich. Trump is ahead by almost 19,000 votes with a quarter of the vote in North Carolina right now. Let's take a look on the Democratic side. A key race alert. We'll start off in Ohio right now. 10% of the vote is in. Hillary Clinton maintains a significant lead over Bernie Sanders, 67.8% to 31% for Bernie Sanders. She's beating him right now by more than 65,000 votes. 10% of the vote in Ohio is in. Very important state right now. 143 delegates at stake. In Missouri, very early. Maybe 200 or 300 votes are in. You see Hillary Clinton is ahead, 62.7%, 30.8% for Bernie Sanders. But this is very, very early in Missouri. 71 delegates at stake in the state of Missouri. In Illinois, 3% of the vote is now in. Hillary Clinton has a lead, 54.5% to Bernie Sanders, 44%. She's up by almost 5,000 votes. But remember, very early in Illinois, 3% of the vote is in. A major projection to release to our viewers right now. This is very, very big. CNN projects that John Kasich is the winner of the Ohio Republican presidential primary. This is his first
win so far in this election cycle. He needed this win, presumably, to stay in the race. Remember, 66 delegates are at stake in Ohio. It's winner take all. It's a very, very big win for John Kasich. He needed it. He said he would drop out if he didn't carry his own state. CNN projects John Kasich is the winner in Ohio. We have another major projection to report to you right now. Hillary Clinton wins Ohio. Hillary Clinton is the winner of the Ohio Democratic primary. This is another big win for Hillary Clinton. This is what she really wanted. There was fears in her camp that after Michigan she might have some problems, but she does win in Ohio. A big win, a big win.
And Wolf, I'm going to get back to you. I understand we have a projection.
Got another major projection we're about to make right now. Listen to this. CNN projects Donald Trump is the winner of the Illinois Republican presidential primary. This is his second win of the night. Earlier, we projected he's the winner in Florida. All 99 delegates, winner take all in Florida. Not necessarily the case in Illinois, where it's proportional, but it is a big, big win for Donald Trump in Illinois so far. Let's take a look at the states won so far on this night. Donald Trump, we have projected as the winner in Florida and Illinois. John Kasich, we projected as the winner in Ohio. It's a critically important win for him. He stays in the race. On the Democratic side, so far 3 wins for Hillary Clinton: Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio. We're still waiting for Illinois and Missouri. In fact, we have a major projection to make involving North Carolina right now. Watch this. CNN projects Donald Trump is the winner of the Republican primary in North Carolina. This is his 3rd win of the night, a big win for Donald Trump in North Carolina. Earlier, we projected he's the winner in Florida as well as Illinois. Now he wins North Carolina. This is a big win. John, thanks very much. We got a new projection that we have right now. Let's share it with our viewers. CNN projects Hillary Clinton is the winner in Illinois. She wins the Democratic presidential primary in Illinois. This is her 4th big win of the night. Illinois, the state where she was born. Take a look at the actual count right now, with 96% of the vote in. Hillary Clinton has 50.6%. 48.6% for Bernie Sanders. She's ahead now by 36,260 votes. That's more than enough to make sure that she is the projected winner first. Let's get to the 2 races we're watching closely right now. Take a look at this. In Missouri on the Republican side, look at how close it is between Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. Donald Trump has a very, very slight advantage in Missouri right now, 40.8% to 40.7%. Trump is ahead by only 1,636 votes. 99% of the expected vote is in. We're watching Missouri on the Republican side. Similarly, on the Democratic side, look at how close it is between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. She has 49.6%. He has 49.4%. She is ahead now by 1,531 votes. 99% of the expected vote is in. Very, very close. Now, let's take a look at the states won so far on this important night. On the Republican side, Donald Trump, he's won in Florida, Illinois, and North Carolina. John Kasich, he won his home state of Ohio. He needed it. He needed the win to continue. He won Ohio. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton so far has won Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, and Illinois. We're only waiting for Missouri. That's the only outstanding race.
So let's take a look.
So Clinton is the apparent winner after a very tight race with Bernie Sanders, less than 1% separating the candidates.
And on the Republican side, Trump was the apparent winner, but it was an even tighter race between him and Ted Cruz.
35,000 Americans living overseas in more than 170 countries cast votes in this primary, and it turns out those Democrats living abroad really like Bernie Sanders. Senator Sanders, the projected winner of the Democrats abroad primary by a margin of 69 to 31.
It's our first key race alert of the night for us. The first votes are actually coming in Arizona, and they've come in big time already. 41% of the Democratic primary vote is in Arizona. Look at this. Hillary Clinton with a very impressive lead, 61.5% to Bernie Sanders, 36.1%. She has 114,000 votes. Bernie Sanders, 67,000 votes. All right, the results are coming in. We got a key race alert right now in Arizona. Look at this on the Republican side. 38% of the vote is now in. Donald Trump has an impressive lead, 45.4%. Ted Cruz at 20.2%. John Kasich down there at 10.8%. We've got a major projection right now. CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the Republican presidential primary in Arizona. This is critically important. It is winner take all for Donald Trump. He gets all 58 of the delegates in the state of Arizona. Our first major projection of the night. There are 4 more contests. We have another major projection to make right now. And CNN projects that Hillary Clinton will win the Arizona Democratic primary. A big win for Hillary Clinton in Arizona right now. 75 delegates are at stake for the Democrats. It's proportional, though, so Bernie Sanders will get some of those delegates. Hillary Clinton won't get them all, but this is a huge win. From Utah right now, the Republican presidential caucuses. Look at this. Ted Cruz, only 2% of the vote is in, but he's got 62% right now. Donald Trump at 23.4%. John Kasich, 14%. Very, very early. Only 2% of the vote is in. 40 delegates at stake. Remember, if Ted Cruz were to win and get 50% plus 1, he would get all of those delegates, 40 delegates. Donald Trump and John Kasich would not get any of those delegates. We'll see what happens. We have a major projection right now. Senator Bernie Sanders, he's the winner in the Utah Democratic presidential caucuses. A big win for Bernie Sanders in Utah right now. He wins the Democratic caucuses in Utah. Earlier, Hillary Clinton was the winner in the Arizona Democratic primary. Let's go.
CNN now has another projection to make in the race for president right now. CNN is projecting that Ted Cruz will win in Utah. I believe we are projecting that Ted Cruz will win in Utah. Control Room, can you verify that? But what we are not projecting yet is whether Ted Cruz will get more than 50% of the vote there. We have more breaking news in the U.S. presidential race. Western elections being held right now, primaries and caucuses. CNN now projects that Bernie Sanders will win the Democratic caucuses in the state of Idaho by a lot. I understand he got more than 75% of the vote there. It could be his biggest win in any state to date other than his home state of Vermont.
CNN is projecting that Bernie Sanders will win the Alaska Democratic caucuses. Bernie Sanders, the independent senator from Vermont, will have a margin of victory very sizable over Hillary Clinton and will be the winner of the Alaska Democratic caucuses. We're briefly interrupting to bring you this CNN projection. CNN projecting that Senator Bernie Sanders will be the winner of the Washington Democratic caucus. That is the second projection. Alaska and now Washington State. We're still waiting for Hawaii to get underway.
And now the latest news from Hawaii. Sanders roundly beat Hillary Clinton there with 70% of the votes. In Washington State, he won 73%, 101 delegates up for grabs there. And in the state of Alaska, he won more than 80% of the vote, but Hillary Clinton is still ahead when it comes to the numbers, ahead of Bernie Sanders in the national delegate count.
Moving now to the race to the White House. Ted Cruz claimed a resounding victory in North Dakota late Sunday after the state's GOP finalized its list of delegates to send to the Republican National Convention.
All right, we got a key race alert. We are not able to make any projections right now, but here are the results based on the CNN exit poll information. Remember, this is an estimate. According to our exit poll results, Ted Cruz has the lead, a significant lead, 47%. Donald Trump at 36%. John Kasich, 14%. Remember, this is the result of our exit polling. Questions that we asked as voters were going in. Let's take a look at the Democratic side right now. Here are the results of the exit polls. A significant lead for Bernie Sanders. Remember, this is an estimate. 55% for Bernie Sanders, 44% for Hillary Clinton. And CNN projects Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz will win the Republican presidential primary in Wisconsin tonight. Ted Cruz, a huge win for him in Wisconsin, setting the stage, potentially increasing the prospect potentially for an open or contested convention. CNN projects that Bernie Sanders will win the Wisconsin Democratic presidential primary, beating Hillary Clinton. A big, big win for Bernie Sanders. He won 5 of the last 6 states, now another state. He's got a lot of momentum going forward right now. A big win for Bernie Sanders.
Breaking news, CNN can now project that Bernie Sanders has won
the Wyoming Democratic Caucuses.
Turn to the race for the White House now, and on the Republican side, Ted Cruz gaining ground on Donald Trump. This weekend, he swept all the delegates in Colorado, declared he'll defeat Trump at a contested convention, and all eyes now turn to the next contest here in New York.
Late last night, Ted Cruz won Colorado by clinching 21 of the state's 37 delegates. This afternoon, he'll address the statewide Republican Assembly in Colorado Springs, where 13 additional delegates will be chosen.
The Cruz campaign picked up another small victory during the night. All 14 delegates selected at Wyoming's convention Saturday are Cruz supporters. Add that to the delegates already selected. Cruz walks away with 23. Donald Trump just won.
And with the polls close, CNN projects that Donald Trump, the billionaire real estate magnate, will win the Republican presidential primary in his home state of New York. We don't know how much he will win by. We don't know the delegate count yet, but we do project that Donald Trump will be the winner in the Republican presidential primary. A huge win for Donald Trump. We also have a key race alert. On the Democratic side, we have not able to make a projection. These are exit poll results. Look at how tight it is. This is a CNN estimate on the Democratic presidential primary based on exit poll information. Hillary Clinton at 52%, Bernie Sanders at 48%. Very close, according to our CNN estimate, based on these exit polls. And take a look at this. Hillary Clinton is the winner of the New York State Democratic presidential primary based on the actual votes that have come in, based on the exit poll information that we have. CNN now projects the former Secretary of State is the winner of the New York State Democratic presidential primary. Polls are closed. CNN projects Donald Trump will win the Pennsylvania Republican presidential primary. A big win for Donald Trump tonight. CNN also projects that Donald Trump is the winner in Maryland. He wins the Republican presidential primary in Maryland. CNN also projects another win for Donald Trump in Connecticut. He will win the Republican presidential primary. On the Democratic side, we have a projection as well. CNN projects Hillary Clinton is the winner in Maryland. She wins the Maryland Democratic presidential primary. Right now, we have some key race alerts at the same time. Take a look at this. In Pennsylvania and Connecticut, we have exit polls, but we cannot make projections. Too early to call on the Democratic side between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders in Pennsylvania, as well as in Connecticut. We didn't do exit polls in two other states on the Democratic side, Delaware and Rhode Island. Too early to call in both of those states as well. Similarly, on the Republican side, too early to call in two states. We didn't do exit polls in Delaware and Rhode Island. Take a look at Connecticut right now. 3% of the vote is in. Still very early. Hillary Clinton has a lead of 52.8% to Bernie Sanders 45.4%. Very early. Similarly, in Connecticut, very early, only 2%, if that, and the vote is in. In Rhode Island, 53.8% for Bernie Sanders, 44.9% for Hillary Clinton. Advantage for Bernie Sanders, at least so far, very early in Rhode Island. On the Republican side, let's take a look at the Republican side. In Connecticut right now, we projected Donald Trump as the winner. You can see it's still very early in the actual vote that has been tabulated. 59.3% for Trump, 27.2% for Kasich, only 11.4% for Cruz. Very early, but Trump we projected as the winner. We have not projected a winner in Rhode Island on the Republican side. We didn't do any exit polls in Rhode Island, but Trump, with 4% of the vote is in. He has 64%. Kasich in second place with 22.9%. Ted Cruz, 11.8% in Rhode Island.
We have another major projection right now. A fourth win for Donald Trump. CNN projects Donald Trump is the winner of the Rhode Island Republican presidential primary. His fourth win of the night. Donald Trump wins in Rhode Island. His fourth win statewide.
A clean sweep for Donald Trump tonight. Donald Trump, CNN projects, is the winner of the Delaware Republican presidential primary. All 5 contests, Donald Trump wins. He wins in Connecticut, Delaware, and let's go through the list. Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Delaware. A clean sweep, winning all of them. A big, big deal for Donald Trump. Impressive wins in all 5 of these mid-Atlantic, northeastern states. Hillary Clinton, we have projected as the winner in Maryland so far. 4 more Democratic contests. CNN projects Hillary Clinton is the winner in the Delaware Democratic presidential primary. That's her second projected win of the night. Earlier, we projected she is the winner in Maryland. Here's a key race alert of what's going on in Pennsylvania right now on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton with 52.5%, 46.5% for Bernie Sanders. But once again, very early, less than 1% of the vote is in Pennsylvania. We're watching that state closely. In Rhode Island on the Democratic side, 4% of the vote is in. Bernie Sanders maintains a slight lead. Actually, it's a nice lead, but it's still very early, 56.6%, 42.2% for Hillary Clinton. We'll see if that stands in Rhode Island. In Connecticut, it's very, very close. Significant number of votes already in, 14%. Look at how close it is. Bernie Sanders, 49.2%. Hillary Clinton, 49%. Only now 161 votes ahead. Bernie Sanders is ahead by 49.2% to 49%. 15% of the vote is in. In Delaware, CNN has projected Hillary Clinton is the winner. 38% of the vote is now in. She's at 51.8%. Bernie Sanders, 47.1%. That's in Delaware right now. On the Republican side, we've already projected all 5 contests. Donald Trump wins, but we'll show you the numbers as they come in. Very early in Pennsylvania, 69.4% for Trump. Ted Cruz, 15.1%. Kasich, 12.8%. Donald Trump, the winner in Pennsylvania. Similarly, in Rhode Island, 10% of the vote is in. A very impressive lead for Donald Trump, 62% to 25.7% for Kasich, 11% for Ted Cruz in third place. 10% of the vote is in Rhode Island. In Connecticut, Trump is the winner. 20% of the vote is in. A very impressive lead so far, 59.5%. Kasich, 26%. Ted Cruz, only 11.8%. 21% of the vote in Connecticut is now in. Very impressive. When in Delaware, CNN has projected that Donald Trump is the winner in Delaware, 61.3%. John Kasich, 20%. Ted Cruz, 15.7%. Another big win for Hillary Clinton, the biggest prize of the night on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton is the winner in the Pennsylvania Democratic presidential primary. This is her 3rd win so far tonight. Earlier, we projected wins in Delaware and in Maryland. Let's go to Jeff Zeleny. We do have a projection, a win for Bernie Sanders. CNN projects Bernie Sanders is the winner of the Rhode Island Democratic presidential primary. That's his first win of the night. So far, Hillary Clinton has won 3 states. Bernie Sanders wins in Rhode Island. Another major projection right now, the final projection of the night. Take a look at this. Hillary Clinton is the winner of the Connecticut Democratic presidential primary. Her 4th win of the night. Hillary Clinton wins in Connecticut. Let's take a look at all the states won so far tonight. 10 presidential primary contests. On the Republican side, Donald Trump had a clean sweep. He won in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Delaware. 5 for 5 tonight for Donald Trump. On the Democratic side, 4 for 5 for Hillary Clinton. She wins in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut, and Delaware. Bernie Sanders, he captures the state of Rhode Island.
Let's go to Wolf Blitzer right now. He has a key race alert.
Thank you. This is the first key race alert of the night so far. The polls in the Eastern time zone in Indiana, they are closed very, very early. Initial numbers right now, see only less than 1% of the vote is actually in. Donald Trump with 61.4%, 23% for Ted Cruz, 11% for John Kasich. But once again, maybe a couple thousand, if that, votes have been counted so far. On the Democratic side, also very early, Hillary Clinton with 63.8%, 36.2% for Bernie Sanders, but only, 900 or so votes have been tallied so far. Hillary Clinton, 228 votes ahead of Bernie Sanders. CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the Republican presidential primary in the state of Indiana. Another very, very big win for Donald Trump. This is a huge win. He was effectively going one-on-one with Ted Cruz. He manages to pull out a win in Indiana. This is something that Ted Cruz really needed, almost make or break for Ted Cruz. Donald Trump is the winner. Let's take a look at the actual votes that are coming in right now. We have a key race alert first. Too early to call on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, based on all the information, the actual votes that have been tallied, as well as the exit poll information, we are not able to make a projection on the Democratic side. Too early to call. But let's take a look at the actual votes right now. First, on the Republican side, we projected Donald Trump is the winner with 9% of the vote in. He's got a very solid lead, 54.2%, 32.8% for Ted Cruz. John Kasich, only 10%. He's up by more than 20,000 votes. But based on all the information we have projected Trump is the winner.
Wolf Blitzer has a key race alert. Mr. Blitzer.
All right, thank you. We certainly do. Let's take a look in Indiana, the Republican side. On the Democratic side, we have not yet made a projection. 12% of the vote is in. Look at how close it is. 51.7% for Hillary Clinton, 48.3% for Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is the winner of the Democratic presidential primary in Indiana. CNN now projects he beats Hillary Clinton, wins the Indiana Democratic primary. We've been looking at the hard numbers coming in. Based on all the information we have right now, he is ahead. Bernie Sanders is the winner of the Democratic presidential nomination. All right, thanks very much. Take a look at this. We're only a couple seconds away from the bottom of the hour. That's when the polls close in West Virginia. Here's what we can give you right now, a key race alert. In West Virginia, Bernie Sanders is the early leader based on the exit poll information that we have. We are not able to project a winner right now, but we are able to say that Bernie Sanders in West Virginia is the early leader in the Democratic presidential primary. As fully expected, no surprise here. On the Republican side, we can project, obviously, that Donald Trump is the winner in West Virginia. He had no opposition in West Virginia. All of the other Republican candidates have dropped out, but he still needs to get to that 1,237 number. This will help him clearly tonight. Anderson, we got some key race alerts, the first ones of the night coming in. Take a look at this in West Virginia. Hillary Clinton has a slight lead. Only 2% of the vote is in. She's got 50.6% to Bernie Sanders, 41.3%. Once again, very, very early. Major projection right now. Bernie Sanders is the winner in the West Virginia Democratic presidential primary. Senator Sanders is the winner. The polls closed in West Virginia. Donald Trump is the winner in Nebraska as well. He's getting increasingly close to that number, that official number, 1,237 delegates that he needs to officially capture the Republican presidential nomination. All the polls in Kentucky closed about 15 minutes ago. We are not able to make a projection. Too close right now. Let's get a key race alert. Take a look at this. 15% of the vote is in. Bernie Sanders has a lead, 47.4% to Hillary Clinton's 45.4%. He's up by almost 2,000. All right, you heard the news right here. The Secretary of State of Kentucky, she declared the unofficial winner in Kentucky. Hillary Clinton, she says Hillary Clinton has beaten Bernie Sanders for the Democratic presidential nomination in the state of Kentucky. In Oregon, let's get a key race alert. Right now, it's too early to call for us to make a projection in Oregon right now between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. But remember, this is a state where all the ballots are mail-in ballots, so they will be releasing a lot of those ballots very, very soon. All right, John, as expected, by the way, Donald Trump is the winner in Oregon. He's the presumptive Republican nominee. He is the winner in Oregon. Yes, other names were on the ballot over there, but Trump wins fully expected. He's the only Republican presidential candidate left standing right now, so he's the winner in Oregon. Anderson. Bernie Sanders, we project, is the winner of the Oregon Democratic presidential primary. Let's go back to the speech. Is the winner in Kentucky. Earlier, we heard directly from the Secretary of State, Allison Lundergan-Grimes, saying she's the unofficial winner, but now, apparently, according to the Secretary of State's office in Kentucky, it's official. Major projection right now. Bernie Sanders is the winner in the West Virginia Democratic presidential primary. Senator Sanders is the winner. The polls closed in West Virginia nearly 2 hours ago. But he is now the winner. Donald Trump has won. Take a look at this. He's won the Washington State Republican primary. Didn't have any opposition. He's got almost 80% of the vote. Ted Cruz, John Kasich, each about 10%. Their names were still on the ballot. Once again, no surprise. He's getting closer and closer to getting that official number, 1237. That's the number he needs to get the nomination. We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination. We have our first key race alert of the night so far. The first numbers very, very early coming in right now. Clearly, no projection in Puerto Rico, but take a look at Hillary Clinton. She has 473 votes so far. Bernie Sanders, 201. Very early, she has 70.2% to his 29.8%. She's up by 272 votes. You can see right there.
Hillary Clinton's win in Puerto Rico over the weekend puts her on the cusp of an historic nomination
nomination.
Back, we have a key race alert in New Jersey right now. The Democratic presidential primary, only about 1% of the vote is in. Hillary Clinton building up a lead, 57.6% to Bernie Sanders, 42.4%. Only, about 10,000 votes have been in. We're watching this state very carefully. No great surprise. Donald Trump has won the Republican presidential primary. He didn't have any other Republican opponents in this contest. Donald Trump, we projected as the winner, obviously, of the Republican presidential primary in New Jersey. Right now, CNN can project that Hillary Clinton will win the New Jersey Democratic presidential primary. This is the first of 6 contests tonight. Hillary Clinton wins New Jersey based on the numbers that have come in so far, the actual votes that have been tallied. Hillary Clinton will win New Jersey. This is the first contest of the night. Other contests, the polls have just closed in 3 other states. It's too early to call in New Mexico, North Dakota, and South Dakota. We'll wait for some actual numbers to come in, then we'll see where we can go from there. Right now, too early to call New Mexico, North Dakota, and South Dakota.
Key race alert from Wolf.
Anderson, thanks very much. We've already projected that Hillary Clinton has won the New Jersey Democratic presidential primary. Let's update you on 3 other states right now. In New Mexico, 30% of the vote is now in. Hillary Clinton has a lead, 53.2% to 46.8% for Bernie Sanders. Almost a third of the vote is in New Mexico. In South Dakota, Hillary Clinton also has a lead with about a quarter of the vote in, 23%. Hillary Clinton has 53.7% to Bernie Sanders, 46.3%. She's ahead in South Dakota as well. In North Dakota are caucuses. We only have percentages. Here's where Bernie Sanders is ahead. He's always done pretty well in these caucuses. 29% of that vote is in. 61.7% for Bernie Sanders, 29.6% for Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders ahead in North Dakota. We're standing by. Montana is going to be closing at the top of the hour. Donald Trump, no surprise. We project that he's the winner. He doesn't have any opposition in South Dakota and New Mexico. 2 more states for Donald Trump. Thanks very much. We have a projection right now. Bernie Sanders, we can now project, will win the North Dakota Democratic caucuses. Bernie Sanders is the winner in North Dakota. His first win of the night tonight. We earlier projected that Hillary Clinton is the winner in New Jersey in the Democratic presidential primary. All right, thanks very much, Anderson. We do have a projection right now. Hillary Clinton, we project, is the winner of the New Mexico Democratic presidential primary. This is her second win of the night. We projected much earlier that she is the winner in New Jersey. Let's take a look at some other states right now. She's having a very good night. A key race alert. We've got Hillary Clinton is ahead right now in 2 important states. Let's put them up on the board right there. She's ahead. There it is in Montana. 25% of the vote is in. She's got 50.7% to Bernie Sanders, 44.2%. In South Dakota, Hillary Clinton is ahead with 85% of the vote in, 51.3%. Bernie Sanders, 48.7%. I should point out, by the way, that Donald Trump, with no opposition, is the winner in Montana. He wins the Republican presidential primary, Montana Republican presidential primary. Thanks, Anderson. We got a key race alert right now. Let's take a look at the biggest prize of the night, California. Right now, the votes just beginning to come in, about 1%, if that, in so far. But Hillary Clinton has taken a very early lead, 61.6% to Bernie Sanders, 37.5%. Very, very early in California. 475 delegates are at stake in California. She takes an early lead. Let's update you on 2 other states right now. Montana right now, the Democratic presidential primary. 32% of the vote is in. Hillary Clinton maintaining a slight lead over Bernie Sanders in Montana. 48.6% to 46.7%. About a third of the vote in Montana is in. 21 delegates at stake. In South Dakota, a lot more of the vote is in. 92% of the vote is in. Hillary Clinton has a lead there, 51.5% to 48.5% over Bernie Sanders. 20 delegates at stake in South Dakota. 97% of the vote is in South Dakota. If Hillary goes on to win South Dakota, that'll be an important win for her. A lot of people thought that Bernie Sanders could do very well in South Dakota. Donald Trump, by the way, no opposition, the only Republican candidate left standing. He wins another state. He's got all 5 states in the 5 contests tonight for the Republicans. he takes California. Let's recap right now. This has been a very good night so far for Hillary Clinton. 6 contests on the Democratic side. In New Jersey, she is the winner. In New Mexico, we've projected in New Jersey, she's the winner, 126 delegates at stake. In New Mexico, she's the winner with 34 delegates at stake. In New Mexico, 2 big wins for Hillary Clinton. North Dakota goes to Bernie Sanders. That's an important win in North Dakota for Bernie Sanders. 18 delegates at stake with the Democratic caucuses in North Dakota. We have a projection right now. Hillary Clinton is the winner in South Dakota. Hillary Clinton wins the South Dakota Democratic presidential primary. This is her 3rd win of the night. 3 important wins for Hillary Clinton so far: New Jersey, New Mexico, now South Dakota. New Jersey, New Mexico, South Dakota. Hillary wins those states. Bernie Sanders has won the caucuses in North Dakota. 1 win for him. 2 other states still outstanding. All right, that's Bernie Sanders. He is not conceding, not dropping out. We have projected that Bernie Sanders will win the Montana Democratic presidential primary. That's his 2nd win of the night. He also won North Dakota. Hillary Clinton had 3 big wins tonight as well. We're still waiting for California. That's the big prize.
Plus, they are still counting votes in California. This, the very light, is 57% now in, and Hillary Clinton has expanded her lead by about 3,000 votes. Now 403,000 votes ahead. We are still counting there. A long way to go. Stay with us.
We have a projection for California, so stand by for just a second. These numbers are just coming in.
All right. CNN now projects that Hillary Clinton is the winner of the California Democratic primary. Again, this projection now just in at 5:19 Eastern time. That's what, 2:19 Pacific time there. You can look at the vote totals now. With 63% of the vote in, her lead is some 407,000 votes. That's enough right now for CNN to project that Hillary Clinton has won the California Democratic primary.
All right, we have some breaking news. NBC News can now project that the presumptive Democratic nominee, Hillary Clinton, has won the final primary contest of this election season, D.C. Democratic primary, tonight against Bernie Sanders. And moments ago, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders arrived at the Washington Hilton to meet for their first meeting since she became the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party.
Breaking news, Hillary Clinton has 2,384 delegates. That's 1 more than she needs to clinch the Democratic nomination. But she and Bernie Sanders vow to fight for every last vote in the primaries that are now just hours away.